Hello, you're listening to Questboard, a podcast where we make up random characters. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Tiffany. And just so you know, we are not professional writers in any way, shape, or form. At least we don't claim to be. We just really like tabletop RPGs, and we do this for fun.
That's right. Hey Tiff.
What's up?
This is stupid because we're both nerds, but I do have hobbies outside of the nerd realm.
What?
Yeah, I play golf. I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah, we have talked about this, yes.
But the other week I was golfing with my dad, and I got the best score I've ever gotten.
Congrats.
Yeah, I shot a 95.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, 72 is par.
Okay.
That's like baseline.
Gotcha.
So I am 23 over that.
Not bad.
For someone who sucks like me, that's really good for me.
I mean, that's like whenever I go bowling, I'm happy just to break 100. I'm not very good
Real
at
life bowling. What about Wii bowling?
We don't talk about Wii bowling.
Oh, you secret mastermind?
No, my ex-boyfriend was, though. He mastered sitting in a chair in the perfect, Wiimote twitch to get a strike every single time. So it stopped being fun for me because I could never win.
Okay. Are you better at virtual bowling, though, than real life bowling?
Yes. My favorite kind of bowling would be the bowling from Tekken Tag. There was a side game where you could go bowling with the characters. And if you, what's the term? Not scratch, but if you set your toe over the line or something.
You faulted?
Fault, that's what it was. The character doesn't let go of the ball and follows it into the pins. It's very comical.
I mean, yeah, I just wanted to say that, hey, I got my best score ever.
Congrats. I'm happy for you. I know
Sure.
nothing whatsoever about golf, but I'm happy that you're happy.
I'm not exactly happy because my dad still beats me. I still never beat my dad at golf.
How often does he golf, though?
A lot more than me.
Yeah.
I'm much more casual.
Yeah, so that's not
But
really, you're comparing yourself to essentially pro.
He had shoulder surgery.
Oh, dang.
And I outdrive him every time. I still can't beat him.
That's funny.
I suck.
I mean, you can only get better.
It's my only hobby that I have that I share with him. And so, whatever.
Yeah, you gotta spend quality time with your dad.
Sure.
Yeah.
The men in my family is not like, oh, we have to do that whole bonding or normal family things. Asian father is stoic and it's just okay.
Whenever it was just me and my dad, he'd be like, hey, you want to go somewhere and get dinner or something? We'd essentially have father-daughter dates. It was really fun.
We don't have that.
Or he used to take me and my sister out to hit a bucket of balls at the local driving range. We were never any good at it, but it was fun to spend time with our dad.
Maybe I should take you to Top Golf one of these days.
What? Watch me utterly fail to even hit the ball?
You know what Top Golf is, right?
I think.
It's like a driving range, but it has a bunch of games where it's there's targets out there and all that stuff. And you could drink and play and all that stuff. They make it a lot more just Dave and Buster-y.
That didn't exist when I was little.
But it's still golf.
Interesting.
But it's very lighthearted, not serious. It's not like a driving range where you're trying to get better.
We weren't trying to get better. We were just hitting the balls.
No, I'm saying tone. The tone
I
of
was
a
technically trying to get
range.
better. I was trying to get to the point where I'd actually hit the ball on my first try.
But then again, how old were you?
10?
Yeah, you're not really going to develop the proper swing.
This was it wasn't just 10. It was from when I was old enough to actually use a golf club to, I don't know, when we stopped doing it. I think it got too expensive or something.
To fill out this banter, it's really ironic that I play golf now.
Yeah.
Because one of my earliest memories is my brother accidentally hit me in the head with a golf club.
Hit in the head with a golf club and suddenly you become a golfer. It's like Spider-Man, but lame.
Yes, a lot more lame. And I'm not good, like I already said.
Well, I was saying, you can only get better if you just practice more.
I was 5 years old, and my brother was swinging a golf club in the front yard, and I was standing too close behind him because I was an idiot and didn't have good depth perception.
That happens.
In which he got me on the left cheek here, close to my eye.
Ooh, that's scary.
And I had 4 stitches inside, 10 outside or something like that.
Oh, it went all the way through?
Yeah, it was real bad. And you would think if a 5-year-old gets hit with a golf club because someone was swinging a golf club, that they wouldn't want to play golf.
Yeah, you'd think that would put some deep-seated fear in you.
Yeah, Apparently not.
I broke my arm while rollerblading and still rollerbladed
and funny
after
enough, that is one of my earliest memories. I wonder why.
Yeah. I don't know what my earliest memory is because I don't know what are memories that I actually have or stories that my family has told me that I've turned into memories of me being.
If you are able to see the visual in your head, that is a memory, of your perspective.
Yeah, so I have a very active imagination, though. So.
Well, whenever I've been told about something I did or anything like that, my imagination will always do third perspective because I'm being told as a third perspective.
That is true. I do have some of those memories that are from other people's perspectives.
So then that's clearly not your memory.
Cool. Okay. Still don't remember what my oldest memory is.
Are we realizing Total Recall level of
I guess.
What is a real memory? What is implanted memories?
I was a lot of mine come from seeing pictures of me doing something when I was little, so I see that picture.
Yeah,
one of my favorite ones, and I also remember doing this, but it's just a picture of me holding my dad's BB gun, and the look on my face is oh no, you caught me with this BB gun I'm not supposed to have. Except it was probably my dad taking the picture, and he was teaching me how to use the BB gun by shooting at a Pepsi can on a stick.
Okay, yeah.
So it's I was supposed to have the gun.
Oh, thank God. I was really worried the internet police was going to catch you on that one.
Yeah.
It
was a BB gun and not the greatest BB gun. It was actually kind of a weak one.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
I didn't even have safety glasses or anything.
You do know what reference that is, right?
I'm aware of that movie, yes.
Okay.
And I have seen it.
Oh my God. Of course you've seen a Christmas movie.
Recently.
For the first time?
Well, within the past...
That you can remember.
...ish year. No, I never watched it. We never watched it when I was little. We always watched It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, and White Christmas.
The cringy Hallmark movies.
My mom's a Hallmark fan. We watched the cringy Hallmark movies, and I'm aware they're cringy. No. Those ones aren't Hallmark, though.
It's July. Why are we talking about Christmas movies? Why?
Christmas in July.
Okay, we're going to our episode.
Okay. Well, let's actually do a thing.
Side note, I consider the Christmas in July super cringy, and I think it's stupid.
I fully agree.
Personally. So I'm shutting this down right now.
Shut down.
We're doing character jam.
Yeah, let's build some characters.
And we're not making this Christmas theme. No, I refuse.
Watch it happen.
You better not.
I'm
shutting you down right now.
Promises. All right, open up that first character picture. We have a barbarian, an orc barbarian. So that's kind of fun. Classic. Our orc barbarian origin is cemetery. That's always fun. Background says dragon. What, did they used to be a dragon? I don't know. Let's see. Their first bond is with a henchman who is a human cleric, a human cleric.
A henchman?
Yeah, human cleric henchman. That doesn't make much. How often are clerics henchmen?
Aren't all clerics henchmen to their god?
Fair. Isn't there a class of barbarian that's essentially like a zealot or something?
Zealot?
Yeah,
there is a barbarian zealot.
Okay, that's probably what this is then. All right. Other bond. A former lover who is a tiefling bandit. Ooh. Then we've got Mark of the Past. Selfless sacrifice. 4, a monk. So someone else entirely. Impetus. What drives this person? Reward. Who? Ghost. Why? Give help. And then to who is not answered.
Well, when it's open-ended, we just get to figure it out ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking that this requires a little bit of homebrew.
Yeah.
But, Tiamat is a dragon god, but it's an evil dragon god.
Right.
What happens if there is a good dragon god?
You
have to make something up there.
Right.
But what happens if this barbarian orc basically dies to save a monk of an ancient, good dragon temple kind of monk?
Mm-hmm.
And so then the origins is the cemetery because brought back to life by said good dragon god through conversing with the barbarian, kind of like conversing with the soul, and then got resurrected by said henchman cleric of that dragon god.
Oh, okay. So not henchman to our barbarian, henchman to the dragon god.
Yes, it's just a fellow henchman.
Gotcha.
If we go by the standard thing of a cleric is a henchman of a god, of any god.
Yeah.
The person who tried to kill the monk was that former lover tiefling bandit. And then that led to the resurrection and all that stuff. And
Right,
then you
right.
could justify the whole zealot barbarian subclass.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reward of ghosts give help. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. Maybe their final reward for serving this dragon for so long, since they've been resurrected, their final reward would be for them to actually finally pass on and be able to rest.
Oh, make this a remnant where they're technically an undead being.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
And
so it's just like, I want to pass on in like, because usually orcs goes off of like Viking rules of if you die in battle, then you get to
so they want to die in a blaze of glory, essentially.
And they did die in combat saving a monk against the bandit or bandits.
Yeah.
But then the dragon brought them back in, so they're kind of pissed about that.
They're like, oh, come on, now I got to do this again.
But then it's like, okay, I'll release your soul and all that stuff.
So like, if you do this for me, I will give you that blaze of glory.
Or like your soul still goes there because you technically died. You're technically undead.
Yeah.
So even if you don't die and like I release you death, it's still it's not your death. The first time you died was the actual death.
But they're still trying to gain that final reward for waiting
basically
for them
their soul is in purgatory because they
Yeah.
put them back in a remnant body.
Right.
Okay. This sounds complicated, but
It does sound complicated. And also,
it makes sense in my head.
The fun of dealing with an undead character is always amusing. There was a book I was reading one time where one of the characters was undead, and so she didn't have to eat anything, drink anything. So and since her body was, dead and kind of decaying a little bit, she would stuff potpourri down her throat so her breath didn't stink.
Lovely.
Yeah. Things like that.
I think you have to talk to your DM about how to do for remnants and like all that stuff. Are you going to be affected by the turn undead spell? Are you going to be more vulnerable to radiant damage? Things like that. You have to talk to your DM about that. But I think it'd be cool if you were considered just undead remnant or anything like that for this character.
That would be very neat. Yeah, I quite like it.
But that involves all the cards.
It does.
Do you want to do the standard? If this was a character in campaign, what kind of story beats involving their backstory would you want to incorporate?
Okay.
Obviously, the resolution about the tiefling bandit that killed you.
Right. They could show up again, and then they'll be just like, I miss you, and stuff like that. And this orc could be like, well, I don't miss you. You did terrible things. So.
Man, you're a good,
I don't know.
intimidating, pissed off character.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it today. Sorry.
Wow.
Be gone, wench.
Okay, I think one more thing then. What is the ultimate goal that the dragon wants the barbarian to do that brought them back to life?
Retrieve something that the tiefling bandit stole from their temple.
Okay, and that's what leads to the whole bandit group and all that stuff.
Right, because this tiefling bandit was only with the orc who was a part of the temple originally, was only, cozying up to them so they could have an in to steal this artifact.
I thought of a tie-in.
What's up?
Remember Jackie Chan Adventures campaign?
Yeah.
This is a bandit tiefling that was hired to steal one of the talismans in the temple.
Oh, no. And it's the dragon talisman, of course.
Well, no, it's the whole thing is about Shadow Wars between two dragons.
Oh, right.
The metallic and the chromatic.
Yes.
So it's just, I mean, initially it's dragonborn. The monk doesn't say what the race is, so we could have the monk be a dragonborn, and the barbarian wasn't part of the temple. They
were helping out.
They were tagging along with the tiefling, just because lover and all that stuff, and then saw what they were doing. It's like, hey, I'm not okay with this. Tries to stop them, and then gets killed themselves. Gotcha. The dragon god then sees that. It's like, oh, you're sympathetic towards our cause,
so you can come back and fight for us.
Yes, kind of thing.
Okay.
How's that?
I like that.
It's somewhat of a tie to more of that campaign.
More of the Questboard cinematic universe.
I mean, that could be different things could happen just in different continents.
True. And whoever ends up using this character, if you use this character, you don't have to follow all of that. You don't even have to use any of that. You can make up your own background or your own storyline for this character and then tell us about it because I want to know.
Okay. So, second character?
Let's do the second character.
I'm actually going to read this one.
Yeah, I think I went the wrong way. There we go.
So, Next character is a sorcerer elf from the Infernal Plane.
Ooh, interesting.
And background is magic item wielder.
Ooh.
From the Infernal Plane, from not before or after.
Who knows?
First bond is that brother?
That says brother, yes.
Yeah. Who's a half orc. We could always do step siblings or a brother in arms.
Yeah, like half orc, I'm guessing half elf.
I'm just saying we don't have, it does have to be family every time we
No, it doesn't have to be like actual family.
But the brother is a paladin.
Nice.
And the other bond is lover. And they're in love with a halfling who's also a paladin.
Interesting.
Maybe from the same order. That's how they met.
That's a possibility.
You're dating your coworker's sibling. It's a little awkward.
Yeah.
Anyways, mark of the past. Does that say fall?
That says fall.
And so the fall,
Why?
and then why rise? The same card just flipped over.
Yeah, that's an interesting interesting pull.
I imagine like
the fun thing about doing this digitally is you're not supposed to be able to pull the same card twice.
But it makes it more interesting.
But it does.
I would say that it could be it's like the rise, a quickly rising empire or something like that could fall due to instability real fast. Or if like kingdoms tend to take over too many territories in a short amount of time, that creates a lot of instability.
I was thinking like the fall of this character could be because of the rise of someone else.
Or that too. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
It could be either way. Anyways, impetus. What drives them? Separation. From who? A deity.
Interesting.
So do you have a stab at this?
Okay. So the whole magic item wielder thing could be what initially gives them their power. Like they're a sorcerer. They're essentially born with it. So maybe they were born to be the wielder of this magical item. And so they have power specifically geared towards working with said magic item.
Okay.
Either they were born in the infernal plane or the weapon originates from the infernal plane. So they would definitely have probably fire and or demonic related.
Are you saying
abilities.
This elf sorcerer is a fire pyromancer?
Yeah.
Sorry. You're describing my drow, Marcus.
Yeah. Yeah, but not Phoenix though. It's all based around an item.
I know. I just like the way you describe it. I'm like, oh, you described my betrayal character.
Yeah, I did.
That I love so much.
But yeah, so the bond with the half-orc paladin would definitely lead to meeting the other paladin that they work with and falling in love.
That's an easy one. Yeah.
That's definitely an easy one. The fall of a civilization being caused by it rising too quickly is a very interesting concept. Maybe, here we go. They were born into like a specific magical order that is all about these magic items and people being born to wield them and specifically like have powers revolving around that. And so those people are almost idolized in a sense, and they worship some sort of deity who bestows these magic items.
Okay, so that's the whole paladins thing is a part of the...
So the paladins are the ones who either raise them in the knowledge of this deity or they go out and find them and protect them. Yeah. Okay. And this whole civilization fell because of its too fast rise and other civilizations being like, oh man, they're getting too powerful, we gotta take them down. Something along those lines.
Or is it a sense of corruption? Because these are... Could be, yeah. Involving people of wielding like magical powers or weapons. Yeah. It could be a sense of a corruption where then it's like, oh, this person's more powerful. Start aligning and like that starts creating factions and then weapon wielders are pitted against other weapon wielders of who is dominant over who. Yeah. And that kind of thing. And then like the impetus, like what drives this character could go one of two ways. This character could be driven by the need to separate themselves from their weapon, to remove that factor of their lives that's leading their lives, driving them and forcing them to be a part of this never-ending war. They want out. Yeah. Or they did get separated from their deity and they're trying to find them again. They're trying to get back to I had
that
a
open
sudden thought
communication.
about that,
What's up?
which is what happens if, like, let's say there's like 8 weapons, whatever. They're all
Okay.
different variety and all that stuff.
Right.
Those are the 8 pieces of the said deity.
Okay.
And it's just passed down and this and that, but it's rumored or it's kind of theorized that if you separate them from the bodies and combine them all, then the deity will be resurrected.
Oh.
So you're trying to separate yourself. Maybe this character maybe is like sees this level of corruption, why it fell and all that stuff, or fractured. And it's like people are too greedy for this power, especially the weapon wielders.
They don't have to be weapons. It's just magic item in general.
But they use it as a weapon because
Yeah.
it gives them the power.
Right.
But to separate from that, to then combine it so that the deity is resurrected, and then you are no longer responsible for this great power.
I like this. So essentially, their goal, their main driving factor is taking down these other item wielders.
Collect the pieces of 8, yeah.
Yeah. Did you do that on purpose?
No, I realized like 5 seconds ago, I'm like, oh, pieces of 8.
Well, that's what they're called now, the pieces of 8.
The 8 artifacts.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So,
I like it.
I mean, the obvious thing to put in the campaign is encountering the others.
Right.
This could be the entire campaign itself, like the main focus campaign.
And you could even have like a big driving factor is like one of the other wielders could even have killed their lover. And I know it doesn't mention it on here, but like that could be like
extra flavor.
It's getting too corrupt. You've killed a paladin. How could you? Type situation.
But then they're like, I'm a artifact wielder.
Yeah, I can do whatever
I'm
I want.
above
Yeah.
anything kind of thing. They have a deity complex, a godlike complex, because
where really the ones wielding the artifacts are there to serve the people.
Well, maybe initially,
but
like,
it's gone to their head, and now they're like, and now I'm better
time.
than you. I am the deity.
Yes, when power gets to people's heads, yeah,
it corrupts.
Okay, I will feel bad if this was a whole campaign. It sounds like a great actual campaign.
It does,
but the problem is, then one person is clearly main character.
Yes.
And I will feel bad about that. Unless everyone is okay with that.
Right.
Like, I don't mind playing a background
or
character.
It can just be like a little thing that happens every now and then. You know, every now and then they'll be like, oh, we've heard of this person wielding this great weapon, da-da-da. And they're like, hey guys, you want to do a side quest? I gotta go kill this dude.
And then rip his artifact from his like chest or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
And then that character suddenly gains a random magical thing. Maybe it doesn't work for them though. It only works for the person.
It's like attuned.
That it was
like to the very soul kind of thing.
Permanently attuned.
Yeah.
To. Yeah. So it only works for them. They just gather the items.
I still think this would make a great just whole campaign. As long as the party is okay with one person being the main character. And maybe then everyone else could play as paladins, and that sounds awesome.
That does sound fun.
But anyways, and it'd be like the small
you could have paladins and clerics.
Oh, that too. But it'll be like a small faction kind of thing. Anything else to add for this character?
No. I mean, I really like the whole concept of the magic items just being part of their god, and they put them back together, they bring back their god. It's like, who wouldn't want to do that? Why weren't they doing that?
Because power.
Because power.
They don't want to give up power.
Maybe it was like, maybe one of their ancient stories is that their god wanted to empower their people. So sacrifice themselves by ripping themselves into 8 pieces.
It's the giving tree, but God.
Yeah. They ripped themselves into those 8 pieces.
Yeah. Okay. So if you put these characters in, or play these characters, or put them in your campaign as NPCs or anything like that, let us know on how you develop the characters, if there's any changes or what they did. You can let us know down in the comments of this YouTube video, on X at QuestBoardPod, or on Blue Sky at QuestBoard. If you have a regular job posting for us to make for our regular episodes, let us know on any of those sites. I think with that, I wish you all a good night.
And happy questing.